believe that a lot of what actually drives the work that I do and diversity and the way I look at AI is driven by the fact that I'm a diverse founder. I come from a different country. My co-founder is in fact Colombian American. And so it's really crucial for us to take a look at basically AI from different points of view, because this is an industry that's predominantly dominated by white and probably East Asian men. And so the goal here is that this is going to change our future. AI is impacting everything from autonomous vehicles to fashion to basically the back-end answering machines that when you call into your credit card, it basically affects everything in our world and will continue to do so. But the question then becomes, how are we able to build basically technology that is diverse when the people who build them and conceive of them are not the same diverse sort of world that we live in today? And so this is a little bit more of a journey of how we sort of build the company, what our company is, and then a little bit of why we think it's crucial to basically do what we're doing. So when I buy something online and I return it at the Gap at the store, actually Simon Malls is taking a percentage of the revenue coming out of the Gap. And so every return that I take from online and put it on that Simon store in like, Stone's or Westfield, Stonestown, then basically it's taking money out of not just the Gap's hand at that store, but it's taking it out of Simon Mall's hands. Why are malls failing? Why are physical stores failing? Well, this is a lagging piece of the P&L for a lot of companies today. So getting this right and getting the data and getting data integrity in there is really crucial. All right. So where are we today? We are a super early company. We're an AI company, and we're a bunch of geeks. So we are building a B2C product. We have apps. We have servers. We have AI, AI algorithms, multiple AI algorithms that we're writing, APIs that we're going to be building to license out to the retailers and the brands out there. So what are we building? We're building actually, sorry, it's a little bit tongue-in-cheek, but we're building what we call a multi-threaded algorithm. We've named the algorithm Lucy because, again, we're geeks, and Lucy was one of the first, with the pop-on legs, and so we're like, well, it's the first female AI. And we think it's the first female AI because of the following, because it's thought up by and conceived by a woman, it's developed by women, all the features, the mindset, why certain things are prioritized over others, why certain data points are more important than others, how we're building the algorithm, what's important in the algorithm is thought of and built by women, and it's trained only by women, right? All of the data is trained and tagged by women. So that's where we are today. And we combine what we call user data, right? So user data is like, I'm taking a selfie, it's about me, Chia-Lin, it's my photo, and my location, my shapes, my preferences, my conscious and unconscious bias, because we're tracking people's unconscious bias. What you tell me and what you don't tell me, actually what you don't tell me is really crucial. How do I get that from you, right? I don't know what I forget to ask. I'm not gonna ask you a zillion questions. Anybody who's ever built an app, knowing that the barrier to entry, the more you ask, the more people fall out of the funnel. I'm from Google Play. Every app that I've seen that has tons of questions fail, right? So we're just trying to ask you questions, but I want to know what you don't tell me. And so when you vote on other people's pictures, Sophia says, she's beautiful, she looks great in blue, right? And so, but then I say, oh, well, look, she's wearing, mustard green. Oh my goodness, right? So I'm like, no, wrong color. So every time that I vote no to somebody, don't buy or return it, every time I say something like, it's a wrong color, we're tracking. And so when I'm making recommendations to you, I want to know, why doesn't she, when she says she doesn't like certain colors, what does that mean? So we're running image recognition algorithms across everything. Because unlike a lot of image recognition search, where if I show you something, we're going to find you 10,000 things that's the same. That works for books, no doubt about it. If you're a romance reader and you're a Western romance reader all about cowboys, you want more and more and more of that stuff. That's awesome. I totally get it. You want more of that. But who wants to basically have 10 white tops, right? So I can find you the first white top, from a search algorithm perspective, but my goal is actually finding things that's complementary to things that will look good, and my goal is to basically find things that will be arguably things that we think you're gonna like. And so knowing what your preferences are, knowing what you don't like, your unconscious bias and conscious bias voting is important. And then styling, because we're not independent rivers. There are people who are completely independent in the world, who wear whatever the hell they want, look gorgeous anyway, and they're wearing gauchos, and nobody looks good in gauchos except that one person, right? Fabulous, that's wonderful. They walk their own line, and that's great. But the reality is that most people want to know that they fit in within sort of the herd of people. Like, I'm unique, but not too unique, and like, I want to know what other people love, and that I look good within this sort of paradigm of the location, my demographic, of my shape, people here. So we thread those things together to make basically the algorithm, and we use that with image recognition, with location data, with like social voting, with a number of different things. And this is what we have today, waiting for a patent pending. So, yeah, and it's in training. So it's been in training in January. We've been tagging, we've been training, and this is what we've been doing. So we've built all the back end because we're geeks and we're back end people. My co-founders and I, we're connected car people. So a lot of what we learned about how people behave, we learned from connected car, because when we basically pushed our product out, we were pushing data into the car, but we were extracting data out. What we wanted to know is, how frequently were people pushing the brakes? And under what kind of conditions? Was it raining then? Was it not? Like, what kind of driver are they? Because insurance companies care about that. So that was part of the AI algorithm that we were training of what we built and that we sold to Harman, and then is now owned by Samsung. So we're building very similar things here, except the algorithms more complex. We're trying to train the algorithm to recognize shape without you telling me. You could tell me that you're a pear, but when I had a baby, I think my shape changed, and I don't know if I'm really what I am. And so the algorithm will take into account what you think you are, but it's constantly questioning and debating whether or not, in fact, you are what you are. So it's running your picture across everybody who's ever said that they're, a square shape or like a rectangle shape like me, and saying, people are telling you don't look good, like in a shape kind of thing. That's not a good fit. So like, maybe you've made a mistake. So let's run you across everybody who is rectangle shape. Did we get it right? So we're constantly debating. The AI is learning, debating, training, learning over again. The more you post, the more you vote, the smarter it gets, because it's trying to think like a real person. It's trying to say like, well, when I have this, like this looks too tight, according to most people, they don't think it looks great. So the image recognition is running and saying like, why, like, so everybody thinks they can look at, so are we looking for commonalities of what doesn't look good for this person, and also commonalities of what doesn't look good across a multitude of people with self-professed shapes, right? So it's running a lot of different sort of thinking the way that humans do today, but we are not conscientiously thinking that we're making those thoughts. So we are doing our first test. Actually, it's not going to be in September because we're late. We're late. It's the front end, to be fair. Front end app was late, so but we're going to be running that around late October. So, and we're going to be starting to collect data around December. We think what's unique, the patent pending AI, it's smart. It's doing a lot of different sort of ways of thinking about what it means to make a recommendation in what we call much more multi-threaded and multi-dimensional, right? We also think that where we are poised as a company is unique. We're not in a business of, we're social, but we're not in a business of being aspirational. I don't have an interest in basically helping women put together things that like they may or may not want. I don't have an interest in helping women find things like a Kim Kardashian, because most people aren't wearing Valentino and have a tailor on like 24-hour call, right? That's aspirational, and that's awesome, and I think that's a real place to that, because that sparks creative imagination, and that's great. But what we're sitting at is that crucial decision of, okay, this thing's gotta go to the mailbox today, or I'm sitting at the Gap, man, and I really, like, somebody's gonna slap my face on a building, God help me, please find me, I gotta find something, right? These things, we're at the crux of decision making, so we're poised in a different sort of position within a purchasing environment, so I think that makes us a different kind of company in terms of understanding what pushes people in or out of bottom. And so that's where we thrive and what we want to understand. And the third piece is, again, I'm going to pick on Kim Kardashian. So, and I don't watch this show, so you think I watch this a lot, but I don't. So, I promise. I just read People magazine. So, native influencers. I love Kim Kardashian, like in a cool, sort of like aspirational way, because she looks beautiful, right? But I'm never, like I said, never wearing Valentino, and her shape is different than mine, and she's rich, and she doesn't have problems raising money, none of that business, okay? What I want is actually what I call native micro-influencers. I want to see beautiful women like this lady right here in the back wearing gorgeous orange. I wish I could carry orange well. I am aspirational for that. She's a woman who lives in my demographic, in my neighborhood, in my geographic location. I want to look beautiful like that, right? And it's a fit here, right? And I want to wear a beautiful green jacket like that because it's beautiful and it's such a great fit for work here. But that's real women, real bodies, real opportunities for me to see how gorgeous this looks on every shape and size and shade of body, right? And we don't really see that represented in aspirational Instagrams. So the goal here is that we really want to bring that user experience to you, not just a catalog picture or a model, but those clothing on real women, because we think that's the piece that's actually going to help people make that decision. And it's important. So the quest for red lipstick. Everybody knows, every woman knows this. I want to find the perfect shade of red. This is the same shade of red, I think. Actually, no, it's not. It's actually women looking beautiful in all shades of red, but it's different. But like, I would say that if I had to look at it today I'm actually asked to basically look for the perfect shade of lipstick, right? Through Instagram. And so that woman who's the Instagram like makeup star, I follow her, I forget her name now, but she's a different shade of Asian than me, and that's really important. But today, Sephora sells more than 60% of its cosmetics online now, and it's going to be a continued trend, according to Chief Digital Officer of LVMH, right? And so, but how do you find beautiful color cosmetics for different shades of, beautiful skin? And the only way you're going to do this is not by watching YouTube. You're going to basically look for selfies of women with similar skin tones, and if people go and say, this is the most beautiful shade of red on this, person, maybe I would like it too, and I have a similar skin tone, maybe, right? That's what I want, because I'm constantly in a quest for beautiful color cosmetics. So when I first approached this idea, saying I was going to do AI, I went to my two co-founders, and they're dudes, and they're awesome dudes. But what they told me was that they wanted kind of like, okay, so I'm going to explain what I mean when they say they wanted this. They wanted this. So what they told me was that they're like, look, the future is AR, VR. The future is, look, we'll just measure the body. So why don't we build an app, and then the AI will calculate all of these, just sort of sizes, and so we're going to ask women to be like this, okay? And then they're going to take pictures, 360. Like, we're going to make them snap 5 pictures, and then we can calculate what's going to be a fit, and then we're going to have to find the best clothes ever. So I made them go back to their life. I said, so ask them if she's going to want to do this and upload it to our website, and for me and you, and all our ML engineers to look at that. No. I'm like, will they be willing to do this? Will they be willing to upload this to us? Absolutely nobody has a problem with this. And so we had to build something that in essence, and we have to figure out sizing, body shape on this, and this is much, much harder. And this actually is easy because look, she's got things that are form-fitting, right? And so, but it makes the impact, it does make things harder, but it does make us think more of what our consumers are looking for and what would we use. This, by the way, was what my VC friends wanted me to do. So I went to Gravity Ventures. I'm a Googler, and so every Google AI person was supposed to talk to the new Google AI fund. The guy has no girlfriend, and he's not married. I straight out asked him, I was just like, well, this is what I'm doing. He's like, why are you wasting time? You should basically have something that superimposes the clothes on you. So we've spent a lot of time looking at what that means in terms of build out, and we do that because we're sitting here as a diverse female founder with diverse advisors with a diverse team that's constantly questioning, are we really looking at things the right way? With founders, we're challenging each other, like, I'm not gonna stand naked for you, dude. Like, I can't have coffee with you if you see pictures of me half naked. It just isn't gonna happen, right? But this is how we're gonna build basically a diverse AI. And we spend a lot of time, again, questioning how we position algorithm. One of the first things that we actually encounter, for example, in terms of like algorithm and why, psychologically speaking, because you're a psychology major, right? How do women think about what's important? So is it important for me to believe that like my 5 friends think I look good? Yes. But what's more important to me? Is it important for me to know my 5 friends think I look good? Because I think they're my friends, so they'll always tell me I look good. What's important to me is actually the 5 women that I don't know. So when we were creating algorithms, the first thing that all the male engineers wanted to do was to say, like, we're going to basically do, every VC was like, okay, so you're going to post it only to your friends, and we're going to weigh your friends' feedback higher than a random stranger's. I'm like, nope. And they're like, but what do you mean? I'm like, because for women, it means more to me that a random stranger is sitting next to me in a dressing room and, yeah, told me that I look good. I've actually kept this one dress. Again, my butt is way too big for that dress. I kept it for a long time because some random stranger told me I look good. Right? I still think I look good in it, even if my butt looks big. So this is sort of where the psychology of building a diverse team makes a difference. So there was a lot of fight about that, by the way, internally, why we should weigh the algorithm that way. So this is sort of my journey of building a diverse AI, and some of the things that we've done to basically make it more unique. So, thank you.
Thank you.